Oh, 3, 2, 1. Didn't even let me get ready for this one. I don't know why it does that sometimes. It just, you'll hit video and put it on record and not even hit play, and it just does 3, 2, 1 and just stop playing on it. And sometimes Papa just ain't ready for that shit. But I guess it's good if your hand's free. But if you see my last video, I'm gonna post. I didn't post it yet. Fucking mice in my house. Fucking tearing apart my Essentials hoodie. Which I don't wear that one much, but it made me find my other Essentials hoodie, which I've been looking for. I got hoodies that I like certain hoodies, but I have so many that they get lost. I have one hoodie, it's a Villanova hoodie. It's not the one you'll see me in, not the gray one. I have a white one that's just like it. It's the reason I bought the gray one. I searched it. I searched looking for the white one on eBay, and I couldn't find it, not in my size. But I have a white one I used to have, and that was my shit. And I don't know where it is in my house. My fucking house is just a mess with shit. There's so much shit in such a tiny apartment. Do I go left or right? I gotta drop off a box. They probably did the pickup already. I sold some sneakers. Sneakers that I won for free on eBay immediately, which was a good sign. Sometimes sneakers take a little bit to sell. The pair I had before that, the SB Verdes, them took a little bit to sell. So, anyways, for my followers, for my loyal followers, I got good fucking news. I got good news. So, I've been sitting on, which my next project, my next thing to do is obviously a podcast. That's the next thing. Like, I'm really not that excited like about it, because like I like to do the talking, but I know like that's the next thing that'll bring me to a higher level, because I've seen it happen for people that are in my line of, not to say line of work, but have similar pasts in a camera, ain't afraid to go on camera and talk about whatever. And I would say I'm trusted that, we're gonna keep it real, in that, I'm not gonna go talking about people's business, and that I'm also not gonna ask the wrong questions. I would think so, but for the people that know me, and that I'll be able to build a reputation of kind of like Bobby Lucas, who's respected in the podcast game, and look at how Joey, my friend Joey Lawler and Devin have come up in such a short time. And even though I asked Joe before he started Lace Up if he wanted to do a podcast, I don't think it was the right time, or it was the right situation. I guess I think God is doing things in my life. God is doing things in my life, because also, as I had mentioned, and I think I was too quick to mention, that me and Jake were gonna do a podcast, but Jake wasn't. He didn't have the right attitude for it. He wasn't into it. He just wasn't into it like I was. I'm like, because I thought that idea was a good idea, and it was something that would benefit not just me, but would benefit him in the long run, and he just his attitude about it wasn't, it just didn't seem like he was thrilled to do it. And he kept saying he wanted to do it. And even though I gave him an out, like, listen, I could see that you just don't have the same enthusiasm that I do to do this. I'm just going to do this alone. And no, I want to do it. But no, I had to make the decision for him that it just wasn't for him. Obviously, I don't know if he just thought he was going to let me down. I don't know. But being honest, a good way to let me down is being dishonest. And letting me down is lying or being very dishonest in what you want to do and what you don't want to do. And that's a good way to let me down, is saying you want to do something you don't want to do, but you're not that into. Because we went and we were around people where, even if you don't want to use your other social media platforms to advertise it, which you already have a fan base, and you let them know, hey, I'm doing this and that. But if you don't want to do that, or whatever, you could still do it in social situations. And if you're not doing that, then obviously I'm going to take it personal that either you're ashamed to tell people, or that you're just ashamed, you don't want to tell people. And then it's like, you know what, like, I'm going to take that personal. And I did. So that's why that's not happening. And I had to make that decision. So I found someone else who had been around the block and has a good story and is not an idiot, is somebody that, like, wouldn't ask the wrong questions and would know when to talk and when not to talk. And I think that me and him would build a good reputation together of, it wouldn't take long to but neither one of us really knew what we were doing on the other side of it, the social media part, the advertising part, the editing part, all that. So it's like, that kind of wasn't the right situation, I guess. And so I had found someone reached out to me, and it's so crazy because people had been telling him, hey, I think you should start a podcast. But he didn't want to be on camera. He knows how to he has a business himself. And he knows how to do all the other shit that I don't know how to do. He's a kid I was in DYS with, I've known him a long time. He's not from around the Boston area, but I had told this story before. When I was in Challenge, DYS, they had sent a bunch of guys from the Central region to challenge the guys that were from the Boston region, Metro region they called it. And he was from the Central region, and that's where I met him. And I was there for him for a little bit. I got to meet him. He was a nice, quiet kid. He was a good kid. He was from Marlboro. And then whatever, I went somewhere else, or he went somewhere else. And that was in the 90s, mid to late 90s. And I hadn't seen him for a long time. And then I got sentenced on my second state bid. And that was when Walpole was classification. And did I run into him then? Or on the end of my first state sentence? One or the other. Because they had turned Walpole into classification. I was still there from when it was a level 6, and I was about to get out, so they never sent me to the max. So he had came one of them 2 times. I was there with him, and I ran into him, and we recognized each other even though we were kids. So anyways, long story short, he's a barber. He works at Boston Barber and Tattoo, which is one of the biggest barber shops in Boston, as far as people knowing and advertising and having clout wise, because I had known about it from seeing and on social media with a couple Boston Bruins getting haircuts and tattoos there. So they did a big social media advertising for that. So it's in the North End, and you have to really know how to cut hair to work there. And it gets a lot of people, and it just itself already has a lot of advertising, just where it is, the people that get their hair cut, right area. That's where he works. People have been telling him, I think he should start a podcast, just because of a couple reasons. He has his own business. He works there. He knows a lot of people from coming in and getting their haircuts there. And so he had already seen me going on the W number with Maddie, and had already said, ding, 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 that's the perfect person. He sees the way I talk, the way I carry myself. He already knows how I carry myself. And he had said, there's the perfect person. That's who I want to do this with. And I had just happened to see him on TikTok. I seen his name on TikTok, and I friend requested him. And I reached out to him. Now, I didn't know about, I just happened to fucking reach out to him and say, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. I need more people to engage, people that I know. A lot of my friends, I've been asking everybody I know to engage. So if you're getting things from me asking me to engage, I ask everybody I know, because I need it for the algorithm. I've got people that I barely know engaging, and I ask people that I've grown up with and known my whole life. They just won't do it. And it's not like they don't have time. People are just lazy. Then I'll ask people. I asked him. Boom. He subscribed to my YouTube. He added me on all social media platforms. He engaged. Then he took one of a few of my videos, mashed them together, turned it into a fucking shit I don't know how to do. And he did more in 5 minutes than 90% of people that I've asked. And then he put it out there to me that, boom, shot it all out to, this is what I'm trying to do. I want to start a podcast. I get the perfect place. We could do it in the barbershop in Boston. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, you work there? And I'm like, oh, that's great. So it's like fucking perfect. But this is the only thing that I reached out to Pat Shaughnessy, the person that I was going to do it with. He's MIA. If anyone knows where Pat is, tell him to get in touch with me, just because I hope he's okay. I hope he's okay. Now, I've already made the decision that I have someone else who's going to do it with me. It's still going to be my podcast. I'm going to have him on as a buffer, and somebody that is also camera, they're not camera shy. My friend Josh, also from Salty. He's all over TikTok. He's all over Instagram. Follow him at Oak Tree. If you see him, you'll know he's a very positive, uplifting man. Very spiritual. He's doing well in his recovery. That was my one worry about Pat, because he didn't have much clean time. He was still in a halfway house, and you know, I did take that into accountability, into account, but things happen, and I just hope he's okay. I don't want nothing bad to happen to him. But it's like, I waited it out, you know. I did almost jump, because I sometimes my patience is, I did almost jump into things that, you know, Jay kept making excuses also. We did almost try to do the first podcast, but every time it was supposed to happen, he made some excuse. He blamed someone else, but I'm gonna say right here, right now, I don't buy it, and it just makes me look differently at him, and I don't give a fuck. I'll tell him that. there's a couple other things, and I'm not gonna get into, but it just makes me like, it is what it is. It is what it is. But whatever. Wish him well on his endeavors. He's got his thing. I'm gonna have my thing. And you know what? I know it's gonna work out. I know it's gonna work out. I just also, obviously, I can't do this all by myself, right? I'm gonna need help with getting guests and stuff like that. And I'm gonna need help with Josh, by Josh, during the podcast to fill in some of the blanks and help me with, talking, and which I really don't, but I can use it. Do you know what I mean? Just to buffer, it's always easy with 3 people. It's always easy when you got someone else there, especially if you don't know some of the guests. Do you know what I mean? As you've watched, and I've watched Joe and Devin on Lace Up, and their guests have just gotten bigger and bigger, more known and more known. Like I was on it, and now they got people like Brandon Novak on it. You know what I mean? And I don't expect to get Brandon Novak on my show, on my podcast, but I'm just saying, like, people with more interesting stories and such. So that's what I expect to happen with my podcast. And so all my followers, I'm going to meet him Monday. I was supposed to meet him yesterday. Like, I'm not delaying on this. We're going to get this going soon. Hopefully the first podcast will be soon. He has already all the equipment. We have everything for it. Okay, he also, his girl, I don't know if he has someone. No, it's not his girl. It's someone at the shop that knows how to edit, that knows how to chop videos up, shoot out reels, and do everything that Maddie does on the W number, Bobby does with the bounce back, Joe and Devin do with Lace Up, and Bean Shooter does with the gallery, Bean Shooter's gallery. So those are guys that I attain to, hope to attain the same success as. Those are guys I've been on all of them podcasts, and I appreciate it, because that has given me some advertisement that people know who I am on social media. I mean, there are people in the prison community, ex-cons, that know who I am, but in the social media community, people know who I am and follow me because of all them guys, and I appreciate all of them. The Bean Shooter podcast should be coming out very soon. They're on episode 53. I see they just released, and I'm episode 55, so that should be out in the next week or so. So keep your eye out for that, and I appreciate you all. I do. But to my friends and everybody that I have asked to engage, I really do need engagement on YouTube and Instagram. Like, I need shares, I need comments, I need shares, and I need comments. Likes are great, I appreciate them, but they're really not going to do much for the algorithm. I need the comments and I need the shares on my content. I really do, because that's the only way that my content is gonna get out to that audience, because there's an audience that out there. Look at Bean Shooter's fans. Look at how many fans Bean Shooter has, and that's like the same audience I would like to get out to, because I don't see why that same audience wouldn't appreciate a lot of my content. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. Thanks for watching. Bye, y'all.